Slot Car News, sponsored by LEB Hobbies, your specialist in home and hobby slot car racing.
Hey everybody, we're going to get right into it. We have a couple news items this week, but some very cool news items this week. We are starting off with Shotgun Dave. He's a good guy, and he's got a great kit here. This is a hot rod kit with a really awesome model of a flathead. My favorite kind of engine in real life. And it's a really, really great looking kit. The photos you see here, this is still a pre-order. It's not quite available for sale yet. It will be for sale on Slot Car Corner. The link or the page is on Slot Car Corner now. You can go and see that, and you can pre-order this kit. It's going to be $34.99. Pretty reasonable price for this beautiful little kit. Obviously, you're going to need to build this yourself. The engine, the body, the whole kit. It needs to be finished, of course. It needs to be painted naturally. The idea of this kit is to be used. In theory, I mean, you can use it for anything, quite frankly, but it's to be used for the Home Racing World Showdown as an option, and you use the brass chassis kit that's also available at Slot Car Corner, or you can use this with any kind of chassis you want, as long as you can adapt it yourself. It's a really great kit. It's great to see Dave making this kit, and I don't know, I'm just excited to see it. Can you tell? Also, really cool news. Well, all of this news is cool. Track Scenics, our friends. This new indie building is available now, I believe. It is a 3-story building. It's got some really nice detail. I got a kind of a 360 view with all the photos here that you can see. I love, I mean, they always do some awesome work, and I'm really happy to see them kind of continue that here with this building. Go check them out. Good job, Track Scenics. MR Slot Car. They have the Corvette that you see here that's going to be available, well, I don't know exactly when. End of the year, beginning of next? I should know that. It was in the information that I got sent. I'll put the information somewhere in here so you can see it after I'm doing the post-production of this video. Great to see this. Marty from Two Lines did a really good review of this the other day on his channel. I would encourage you to go watch that review. It's already been done. It's pretty damn definitive. Yeah, he did a great job with it. And, you know, great job, Marty. You did it all, man. Go watch it, everybody, please. And good job, MR, with the work on this car. There's also going to be a white kit available, of course. I mean, in Marty's review, you'll see a number of pretty interesting innovations or aspects that MR has chosen to use for the development of this. It's nice to see another aluminum chassis car. You know, it's going to be a fairly heavy car, I would assume. That's a good thing, though, guys. Makes the performance reasonable. It makes it's going to make the car nice and solid to run, just like you know who, Revo slot. Regardless, great kit. Cool to see these. There's going to be, I believe, 3 cars in this series of kind of classic GT cars. I guess what would these be? A production, I assume. B production, probably A production. I don't know. Whatever they are, frankly, doesn't matter. It's really, really awesome to see a whole new category come to, or a whole new racing class, basically, of these really pretty old GT cars. Amazing stuff. Lastly, we have SRC with a whole bunch of developmental photos of a new Audi that they're working on. Boy howdy, this looks great. They have pulled these from their Facebook page, of course. They have some interesting CAD files that are showing the detail work here. SRC, as we all know, do some really high quality cars, and I'm sure once this car is done, we will see a great model that looks amazing, as well as, of course, runs really, really well. Top-notch performance all the way around for these cars. I don't have a rival on this car, but, you know, I mean, when they're doing the CAD files, it's going to be a couple months, I would assume. So probably early next year. That's good stuff. Wait, not the last bit of news. Slotted is now showing another couple cars, or another car, I should say, for Q1 of 2025. Actually, it's Policar, their Policar brand. Another golden black Lotus. Beautiful. I believe this is Fittipaldi. Is it? I'll put it in right here. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Gold and black, black and gold. It's all that really matters, guys. Beautiful livery. Early next year, great stuff. They just put this on their Facebook page today, on the Policar page. Speaking of cars that have arrived, there's another bit of news about arrivals and such. We have 2 new cars that are going to be shipping out today. Today's the official selling date of the new GT40, the number 7. I already posted photos of that on the slotted page that I took. And the Alpha DTM, Martini Alpha, good looking car for sure. I think that's it, guys. Come back after the racing and show news with another edition or 2 in there. Please check that out. And we'll talk about something. Not entirely sure what. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are going to talk about kind of a bit of an addition to the NASCAR discussion live stream that I had last night on my channel. I did want to make clear that I wasn't dumping on the folks that did the video. I think they did a great job with the video, and I respect them. They do a nice YouTube channel, and it's great to have their commentary on Carrera stuff in general and other things in general, generally speaking. We do need to understand, though, that the cars. The main thing I guess I wanted to hit on is the cars are not really the NASCARs. Talking about the Carrera NASCARs, they are not limited edition cars. Production run on a car usually is somewhere, around probably 3,000 for the world, I would say. 2,000 for the world, maybe. I think that's probably about what each of these liveries will be. Maybe 2,000 of these. Each analog livery, each digital livery. And then, most of those are coming to the U.S. Of course, there will be some that will sell in Australia, but mainly these are going to be U.S. cars because it's a U.S. racing series that really doesn't reach too much outside the U.S., despite what folks think. Certainly not in slot car sales. There's cars are only get run once, usually, unless they're in a set and the set is reordered, or it's what's called an ongoing set that goes from year to year in the catalog. Now, sometimes you put a set in a catalog or a car in a catalog for multiple years because it's not sold out in your warehouse, and that's usually why you'll see a car or a set carry over, not because it's still being produced per se, because again, like I said, these things generally speaking are produced one time. Certainly in the 7 or so years that I worked for Carrera, we had very, very, very few cars that I could count on probably one hand that were produced again, so to speak. Nearly all cars were made once, sold out at the distribution level, and were never remade. Now, sometimes companies will move inventory around, so if they have some in Australia or some in a European distribution point, they'll move. If they didn't sell in one market, they can move them to another market and keep selling them. So that's why some more might appear, and it's not necessarily that a company wants to talk about that because they don't want to admit that something didn't sell well. So there will be a car that'll appear that oh well, it's out of stock. Well, we got more. Well, it doesn't necessarily make more. More were just pulled out from a different distribution line. That happens quite a bit, quite frankly. When I worked for Scalextric, that happened quite a bit. If there were a GT car that we sold out of when I worked for Hornby America, and we saw them in stock in England, we could ask to have those cars shipped to the U.S. and then we would sell them. And in a lot of cases, that did happen in quite a few cases. So, that's certainly a possibility. There's a warehouse, or was a warehouse for Carrera in Kowloon in China, or Hong Kong. I think one in China as well. And sometimes there would still be inventory there, and we would be able to get that inventory, and that would show up, another couple hundred cars, 200 or 300 cars maybe. But again, cars are really only made once, guys. I don't think, and I'm not putting a damper on, the Carrera NASCARs. I'm not saying that they're not anything special by saying that they're not, a limited run on cars. People just don't understand what the numbers really are because they don't work for these companies, quite frankly. And, you don't hear production numbers. You don't hear the numbers of inventory that get brought into the country, any country's market. Dealers get told what the distributor wants to tell them, basically. The real story if you're part of the people doing the ordering from wherever. I had been part of that. It's just part of the job that I had at one point. And when you do that kind of thing, the real numbers, and how there's a lot of circumstances where cars can appear in inventory, and you can be offered cars by somebody. There's a lot of, it's a very gray area. It is not as black and white as folks think. But again, I did want to emphasize, I wasn't making fun of anybody's comments, not in the least. Posting, comments and thoughts about these kinds of things is based on working for the companies like I did. And, everything that I posted there is true stuff. Either comes from my experiences for the companies, or, the numbers for the companies, which are hard and fast numbers as of the point of when I worked for the companies, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's great to have these conversations because it informs the slot car world a little better about how things actually work, and it's a great conversation starter. So I think it's fantastic to talk about this stuff. It may make some of the companies a little uncomfortable, but to hear kind of insider information kind of put out there. But I think it is important because there are a few people in the position that I had been to know the facts or know circumstances about this or that, and now be able to talk about it publicly. Because trust me, this stuff, these kinds of gray area discussions, that works across brands. There's a lot of commonality between the companies as far as surprising things that happen as far as distribution. Let's just say that. Anyway, folks, thank you very much. That's going to wrap it up for this week, I believe. I appreciate all the likes, the shares, the comments. Please follow Policar News on my Facebook page. I have an official Facebook page, and really means a lot to have people follow me there. I do try to post pretty much all the time of the stuff that I think is cool. I posted another couple shirts. I just got this shirt. The shirt's from blipshift.com. I did a video about my shirts a couple days ago, a live stream about my shirts a couple days ago, because I get so many comments about them. I did order 2 more shirts. God, I gotta see somebody about this. Oh, also, just a heads up. I don't know what next week's video schedule will look like. I am going to North Carolina Wednesday. I believe we're leaving Wednesday at 4 in the morning. I'm following down some relief efforts from our area. There's at least two, maybe 3 tractor trailer loads of food, supplies, toiletries, basically. I think a lot of toiletries, quite frankly. We're going to be going down to North Carolina, somewhere in North Carolina. I don't exactly know yet. I'm going to be down there for at least 2 days, I would assume. Maybe 3 it might cut into, coming back Friday. So I don't know that I'm going to have news on Friday. I did want to be upfront about that now, because I don't really know, I don't really know if I'm going to have internet when I'm kind of in the affected area. I don't really know a lot, quite frankly, at this moment. This is the kind of thing I've done before. I covered Hurricane Katrina, and I covered there were pretty bad tornadoes in Kentucky a few years ago that I went down to cover with some local relief efforts and firefighters. So I've done this kind of thing a number of times. I'm looking forward to going down because it's part of my job to cover news like this, and especially some slight bit of positive news that can come out of such a tragic event. Local people from my area going down to help, doing God's work, quite frankly. In any case, folks, thanks again. See you all again real soon. I appreciate it.